Okay, so today we're diving into a name you think you know, Ashtanga Yoga, right? You've heard it everywhere. But what if I told you that name actually points to two completely different things? Seriously. And once you get this, so much of the confusion around modern yoga just melts away. So here's the big question, right? When someone says, "Oh, I practice Ashtanga," what do they even mean? Are they talking about this ancient philosophical path for the mind? Or are they talking about a super specific, really physically demanding workout? Well, the answer is kind of both, and that's exactly what we're going to untangle right now. All right, let's just lay it all out. On one side, you've got Patanjali's Ashtanga from the ancient Yoga Sutras. This is the original eight-limbed path to, spiritual liberation. Then on the other side, you have modern Ashtanga Vinyasa. This is a system of really specific posture sequences that was actually developed in the 20th century. So you see, same name, but as we're about to find out, these are two totally different projects with totally different goals. Okay, so first up, let's go way back to the beginning. We're talking about the original blueprint from the sage Patanjali. You can think of this as the source code for what eight-limbed yoga first meant. And get this isn't about getting flexible or nailing a handstand. Patanjali's yoga is described as a psychotechnical program. What does that even mean? It means it's a technology for the mind. The whole point is to literally transform how you think, to retrain the habits of your attention, all with the goal of reducing suffering. It's deep stuff. So how does this program actually work? Well, Patanjali laid out what's called a coordinated technology of attention. And the key word there is coordinated. This isn't some buffet where you just pick what you like. It's a system. You start with the most external things, like your ethics, how you treat people, and your relationship with your body, and you methodically work your way inward. Through the breath, the senses, all the way to these incredibly deep states of concentration and meditation. And I just love this next idea from the research. The first two limbs, the yamas and niyamas, these are all about ethics, right? Stuff like nonviolence, truthfulness, all that good stuff. But check this out. They're not just a list of moral don'ts. They serve a really practical purpose, what scholars call attentional hygiene. The idea is that you can't have a calm mind if your life is a mess. You reduce the inner chaos by getting rid of the greed, the lies, the drama. It's simple, really. You clean up your life to clean up your mind. Okay, so what about all the yoga poses, the asana? This might actually be the biggest shocker of all. For Patanjali, the entire point of posture was just one thing: to create a steady, comfortable seat. That's it. Seriously, the goal was just to get your body so still and so at ease that it would just kind of disappear. It would stop hijacking your attention so you could get on with the real work, which was meditation. So that begs a pretty huge question, doesn't it? If the whole original point of asana was just to sit still, where in the world did all the complicated, sweaty, pretzel-like yoga poses come from? Where did all the vinyasa flow stuff originate? Well, that question leads us right into the next part of our story, a massive historical pivot. Scholars call it the Great Shift, the moment yoga's focus turned from the mind to the muscle. And this timeline really lays it all out. For hundreds, even thousands of years, yoga was mostly about one thing: calming the chaotic chatter of the mind. But then something big happened in the early 20th century. All these new influences started showing up in India. We're talking European gymnastics, bodybuilding, a whole global physical fitness craze. And all of that, it fused with Indian traditions and created a brand new hybrid, one that shifted yoga's center of gravity straight to the physical body. And this is the moment the other Ashtanga Yoga is born. The modern Ashtanga Vinyasa system, the one famous for its intense, non-stop set sequences, it came right out of Mysore, India. And according to some really groundbreaking research by a scholar named Mark Singleton, its development was heavily influenced by the gymnastics and the physical training routines that were all the rage back then. Now, the method behind this modern system is built on a three-part technique called Tristana. It sounds complicated, but it's basically doing three things at once. You've got the asana, which is the posture itself, the vinyasa, which is that famous technique of linking every movement to a breath, and the drishti, which is a very specific place you're supposed to look. Put it all together, and it's this incredibly intense way of training your focus through the physical body. Okay, so we've got these two very different things that somehow share the same name. Let's put them head to head and really see the difference between the classical path and the modern practice. This chart really breaks it all down. For Patanjali's Ashtanga, what's the goal? Transforming consciousness. The emphasis? Ethics and meditation. And the role of posture? It's just a tool to help you sit still. Now look at modern Ashtanga Vinyasa. The goal is more about purifying the body and mind. The emphasis is squarely on posture and breath. And the role of posture? It's not just a tool. It is the main event. It's the primary training ground. See the difference? So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's that asking which one is the real yoga is probably the wrong question. It's not about authentic versus fake. The research really points to them being two different historical projects designed to solve two different problems. One is this vast ancient roadmap for transforming consciousness. The other is a powerful, modern physical practice for disciplining the body and focusing the mind. And that leaves us with one last big question for you to think about, a question pulled right from the source material. When you think about your own practice or just the idea of yoga, is it something you do with your body, or is it something you do with the very conditions of your experience? It's a deep one, and it really gets to the heart of what this whole tradition might mean for us today. Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me on this one.